Hey guys, HCGChica. I wanted to talk a little bit about hair loss today because hair loss is a possible side effect from doing the HCG protocol, and so a lot of people have been asking about it lately and been concerned about it. So I just thought I'd share what little I know about it with you guys. Hair loss is it's not like something that you'll just get from doing HCG. At times it's basically hair loss can be caused by stress, and that could be anything: going through a divorce, breaking up with your boyfriend, having a really difficult time with your health. There's all kinds of things that can cause hair loss. Usually this type of hair loss, when it's due to stress, is not permanent. It pretty much always will grow back over the next several months. So does everyone experience hair loss after doing HCG? No. I don't know the percentage of people who do. I do know it's something that a lot of people are worrying about lately. I'll just tell you, what I deal with. I've actually had alopecia, which is like actual bald spots on your head from time to time, ever since I was 15 years old. So totally unrelated to HCG. It's something I've dealt with for over 16 years now. And basically after any really stressful event in my life, like the first time it occurred, it happened about a year after a big breakup with a boyfriend when I was 15 or 14. And so I actually developed these two bald spots about this big on my head, completely bald, just the scalp. And it was a little scary at first, like, oh my goodness, but anyway, it did grow back on its own. It just started growing in, and I was fine for a year or two, and then, something else happened in my life, and several months later, I had another bald spot. So I've had this happen to me, I don't know, probably at least 6 or 7 times now in the last 15 years, 16 years. So it's something I used to. It's always grown back. One time I had a very large spot, like probably that big. It's always been in a place I could kind of hide it, so that's been nice. So anyway, it's something I've always dealt with, so it's not something I worry about. I didn't have any hair loss the first couple rounds that I can remember, but I do have one right now. I do have one. It's over here. It's probably hard to see. Let's see if I can show you guys. Can you see that? It's actually like a little spot. So it's actually already growing back though. Most people who report having hair loss on HCG though, it's more of like a hair thinning where they're losing hair all over their head, so they're not actually having bald spots. I don't want to, make you guys panic or anything. This is just my own personal thing that I deal with. That's how my body reacts to stress. So for others, it's more of a general thinning of the hair all over, and that's why, they're complaining about hair being all over their back, and I totally know that story. So, it's definitely not a fun thing. It will happen on occasion to some people, and I don't really know that you'll be able to know in advance if you're one of those people or not. Like I said, for me, it's something that's it's a downside that's worth it to me. I'd much rather have occasional hair loss that grows back than be grossly overweight for my entire life and have die from an early heart attack or something. So you got to weigh the pros and cons. Obviously, you want to try to do the protocol in a healthy way, take the appropriate breaks. If you try to do a bunch of rounds back to back and then keep cheating on rounds and then starting a new one and then quitting early and starting a new one, I mean, that's probably going to be putting your body and specifically your adrenals through a lot more than they should go through, and that seems like it would definitely increase your chances of having hair loss. That's just kind of my guess. But anyway, yeah, just for what it's worth, if that helps, for the most part, I mean, if you look at me, you wouldn't tell that I had a big old bald spot on my head, So for the most part, I mean, it's not fun to have thinning hair, but it doesn't really bother me too much. I'm so much happier with my body. But it does kind of bring us to another point. Some people feel that being on HCG kind of fixes everything. And I don't personally agree with that. I think HCG does cause I do think you lose fat on HCG, more so than on other diets. But I do think that losing so much fat so quickly can be a trial on your body. It can be, you know, it's a stress. It's a stress on your body. I mean, there's even good stresses in life, right? Even if I go to a party, because of the health issues that I have, even though it's a good stress, I will feel really crappy the next day. So sometimes it's not something that I can handle, even though it's like a happy time. It's a stress, so it's something I can't handle. So you know, in this case, losing so much fat so quickly is a bit of a stress to the body, I believe. So, and I think it can be hard on your adrenals. I think a lot of people have adrenal fatigue and may not be aware of it. You know, symptoms of that are tiredness, fatigue, also the beginning stages of adrenal fatigue. There's a point where you actually have elevated cortisol in the beginning stages of a fatigue, and that will cause you to not be able to go to sleep easily at night and to be awake at night. So there's different symptoms like that that could be an indicator, you know, that you might be dealing with that. So combining adrenal fatigue with HCG is a difficult thing in my mind. I've actually done it. My adrenals go back and forth. I take a product called Isocort for my adrenals. It's actually a plant-derived cortisol and very tiny amounts of cortisol. And I've actually used it on HCG before when I knew that my adrenals weren't doing so hot, but I really wanted to do my third round. So it was kind of an experiment where I combined doing HCG with taking this small amount of cortisol for my adrenals. And I'll tell you guys that that's the best round I've ever felt. I felt fantastic. I lost the most fat that round. So I really think that it did its job. So that may be one thing to possibly combat both hair loss and adrenal fatigue from the protocol. So that might be something to check out. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to share about it. If you have any more questions, just let me know. Okay, bye.